We're in trances, going all to different places, different planets. Watch your aura pass me by, losing balance. What if we run out of time and second chances? Empty-handed, you love fast life.
Good afternoon and welcome to Let's Talk with Sandra. Today I have the honor and privilege of speaking to Mr. James Piggee, aka Coach, aka someone I call Pops. Mr. Piggee is a well-respected person in the city of Gary, Indiana. He has done a lot for the city. He still does. He has done a lot for the youth, and he still does. And it is my honor to talk to him. But I'm gonna let him tell you about Piggee. Okay, Pops. Let's start with when you came to Gary, Indiana.
I came to Gary. I was 4 years old, and
What year was that approximately?
1942.
Oh, Pops.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't even an egg yet.
I know it. 1942. My grandmother's brother. He was a big wheel here in Gary, Indiana, back in those days. He owned a Stewart house, and my oldest brother and my dad came first.
Wow.
And then my sister Loretta and myself and my mother and my younger sister, she was in my mother's arm.
Wow.
And we came here and we stayed at the Stewart house.
What exactly was the Stewart house? Was it like a rooming house?
No, it was like a recreational center for young people.
Okay.
They had boxing there, and they had preschool, and they had a church there as well.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And I started kindergarten when I was staying there at Frable School.
Wow. How old were you at that time when you started kindergarten?
When I started kindergarten, I was 5 years old.
Okay. Excellent.
And started kindergarten there. And then we stayed there only for a short time.
Mm-hmm.
And then we moved on 20th in Massachusetts.
Okay.
And that's when I transferred and went to Pulaski.
Pulaski Elementary School?
Elementary school.
Wow.
At that time. At that particular time, they had two buildings, one East Pulaski and West Pulaski.
Yes.
West Pulaski was for white kids. The East Pulaski was for black kids.
Wow.
And back in that time, it was going east. There was no buildings or anything. There was a mountain they called Lookout Mountain, and we were kids, and in the wintertime, we would go there and stop on our sleds down the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And I lived on 2029 Massachusetts. Mm-hmm. And in that building, I think we paid like $27 a month for rent.
Wow.
And on the second floor was the Hills. There was a lot of them. There was like 13 of them. And then on the third floor, there was the Spears. There was only three of those kids.
On each one of those levels, Pops, how many bedrooms were there? Were there apartments?
No, yeah, there were apartments, but there were only 3 bedrooms in each level.
Wow. And how many children were in your family living in a 3-bedroom then?
Yeah, it was 4 of us.
Wow.
It was 4 of us.
That's mom and dad and the kids.
Mm-hmm. And on the second floor of the Hills, there was 13 of them.
In a 3-bedroom?
In a 3-bedroom.
Wow, but we made it work.
They made it work.
Made it work.
Yes. And next door, it was the Murphys, and it was about 14 of those kids. It was a 3-bedroom.
Wow.
The Murphys stayed there, and it was so many of them, they eventually moved.
Yes.
Okay. But it was a fun situation. We had a lot of fun back in those days with each other.
Yes.
And we used to play hide and go seek and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And across the street from 2029 Massachusetts, there was no houses. There was only one house, and that was a teacher's house, Mr. Lewis's house.
Yes.
And they had a lot of sand, and they had pussy willow switches, and my mama used to get those, you know.
What would she do with those?
Beat your behind.
The pussy, what do they call pussy willow switches?
Pussy willows, that's right. And if you didn't come if you wasn't home by the time the street lights come on,
Yes.
you get your behind wore out.
Whoa. How many did you get?
All the time. I was that little boy right here in that picture right here.
Where are you at?
Right here on this, sitting on the end.
Right here?
Sitting on the end. That was my oldest brother standing up.
Okay.
That was Lorenzo. And then I was, my mother was holding Mallory. He was the baby.
Mm-hmm.
And next to him was Ronald, my brother Ronald.
Mm-hmm.
And over there by me was my sister Alice.
Right there. Mm-hmm.
And then over his way was my sister Loretta.
Wow.
And then that was my mom and my dad in the middle.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful family.
Yeah, that was my family.
Everyone's dressed so nicely.
And we loved each other. I mean, my parents, my daddy was a minister.
Okay.
He was big time minister.
Wow, but which church?
Church of God in Christ, Freeman Temple Church. Church of God in Christ. It was located on 19th and Washington.
Wow. That's
Mm-hmm.
beautiful.
And my brother Ronald, he was born in the Black Hospital, Belmont Hospital. It was only two Black hospitals. One was on 19th in Massachusetts. Another one was on 18th and Jefferson, Belmont.
Wow.
And that's where my brother Ronald was born.
Yes.
The rest of us, we were born in the house, in home.
In the house?
Yeah.
Who delivered? A midwife?
Midwife. The doctor came to the house.
What? Now, question on that, Pops. Were you guys allowed to be in the house during the delivery, like in the house where you could hear the screaming?
Yeah, well, there was no screaming because they were delivered at night. We was in the bed asleep.
Really?
And my mother came in with this boy here, the one that's in my mama's arm.
Mm-hmm.
And I was getting ready to go to school. My mother said, "You want to see something?" I said, "Yeah." And she threw the cover back at that boy. I said, "What?" I didn't even know.
God.
I didn't even know my mama was pregnant.
Really?
Back in those days, you didn't look at people like that.
Yes.
Like they do now.
The kids have too much. Like today, the kids know everything. Oh, mama's
That's
having
right.
babies. Mama's pregnant. Back then,
that's exactly. We didn't even know it.
Yeah, because it wasn't kids' business.
That's right. Now you got a point there.
We
didn't know.
Business.
Mm-mm. That's right.
Wow.
All of us was born at home.
Wow.
Except for the one right here.
Except for the baby.
No, not
here.
No, the one that was sitting right there.
Oh,
him.
Really?
He was the only one that was
Right
born in
here.
the hospital.
Mm. And where are all your brothers and sisters now?
My oldest brother's deceased.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This sister here, she lives in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Okay.
Okay. This brother here, he lives in Texas, Houston, Texas.
Mm-hmm. Let's turn it around.
He lives in Houston, Texas.
Right here?
Mm-hmm. Ronald. And my sister, the other sister, she lives in Kansas City.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And my mom is deceased.
Wow.
And my dad was deceased. My mother died at 79.
What year would that have been?
1986.
Wow.
And my dad died when he was 97.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bless.
Mm-hmm. And before my mother died, she had a lady friend, and she told this lady friend, marry my husband because he's never been by himself.
Really?
And my dad had married her.
Really?
We buried my mother in August of that year, and my dad had married the lady in October of the same year.
Oh, that makes me want to cry, Pops.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
That she loved him so much that she gave him permission to love someone else.
That's right, exactly. She sure did.
That is such an unselfish act.
She sure did.
Us young folks don't know about that today.
That's
We're
right.
too busy trying to shoot and kill each other because we're jealous, you know? But that's an unselfish act of love.
That's exactly right. And my mother put all of us through college, even my daddy.
Wow.
And my mother went back to college at 55.
Really?
Yes, she did. And my mother became director of Lake County Children's Home. That's where kids live that didn't have no parents and stuff like that.
Wow, Pops.
And my mother
amazing.
used to let Michael Jackson come over there and practice, the Jacksons.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
The Jacksons.
Yeah.
They used to practice it at your mom's where she worked.
Where she worked, down in the basement. Mm-hmm.
The Jackson 5.
That's right.
The Jackson 5.
That's right. That's why my mother did. And see, my mother was really very proud of her kids.
Yes.
All of the boys went to HBCUs, that's historical black colleges and universities, and the girls went to white schools.
Wow.
My sister Loretta went to Indiana University in Bloomington, and Alice went to Indiana State in Terre Haute. My brother Lorenzo went to Kentucky. I went to St. Augustine's University. Ronald went to Wiley College, and Mallory, the youngest one, he went to school in Nebraska.
That's amazing. She did an amazing job.
Yes, she did. She did one tremendous job. And she loved her grandkids. Oh, my God. My mama loved her grandkids. Yes. She was something. But when
God rest her soul.
Yep. So she came to my graduation. This is when I graduated.
Let me see this picture here. Oh, look at handsome pops.
Yeah.
Look at that.
When I went
Mr. James Piggee.
When I went to college, I was only...
You were the treasurer.
Yeah, of the class.
Oh, wow.
When I went to college, I was turning 17.
Oh, wow.
When I went to college.
Did you graduate from school early? Were you that smart?
Yeah. Yeah, I graduated early. Plus, my birthday was in September, and school started in August.
Okay, so you were one of those kids that really started early, but really you were with your peers.
Yeah, sure was. These were my classmates from college. He was from Florida.
That's Herbert Burroughs.
We could call him Pone Tone. She was from Lillian Daniels.
Why does her name sound so familiar?
She was from Illinois. She was from Robbins, Illinois. And she was from North Carolina. Ethel Wooten, he was from North Carolina, and he was from North Carolina.
Wow.
His
friends right here.
I was a senior.
Right here. That's amazing.
Yep.
So
when I came home, I would come home for Christmas. After school was out, for the holidays.
Yes.
And I would come home for Christmas, and I would have on my St. Augustine's, T-shirt, stuff like that. And I went to the high school basketball game, stuff like that.
Different places, different
places. Going on.
Watch your aura pass me by, losing balance. What if we run out of time and second chances? Empty-handed. You left us
I played in a fraternity.
Which was?
Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity. And my sister plays in a sorority. She was an AKA.
Wow.
That was the green and
the green and pink. My youngest daughter is an AKA.
Yeah, my sister is an AKA. And the rest of my family didn't pledge.
Wow.
They sure didn't. They just didn't pledge. See, my grandmother's husband was a teacher.
Yes.
And he taught in Arkansas. And he would go to little cities and teach that kind of stuff. And his name was Hearn. Hearn. My grandmother had about 13 kids in her family.
Yes.
And she married Mr. Hearn. And when my mother married my daddy, he was a Piggee.
He was a Piggee.
And that's where it went. And see, my grandmother was real particular about us.
Yes. Real
particular. And my grandmother used to sit up and drink coffee. She loved coffee. And she would drink it out of the saucer. And
a saucer, for those who don't know, is a bowl. Like, it's like you have the teacup and the saucer. It's like a little plate. Right. You sit the teacup on. So if the coffee dripped, it dripped in the saucer. So, okay.
So my grandmother, I used to sit up and watch her drink coffee. She said, if you drink coffee, it make you black. So I never drank coffee. I didn't want to get black.
Any blacker.
So I never drank it.
It's crazy.
Ain't that crazy?
Things subliminally can just alter your way of thinking.
Yeah. She made me believe stuff. You know, old folks made you believe in things like that.
Yes.
And she and I used to go. She used to take me fishing with her all the time. She had a big old hat, the old straw hat.
Yeah.
And we had the poles, you know, those the bamboo pole. And she and I go fishing all the time. And they call, you know, how many fish you got? I said, I caught 12 punches. I couldn't say perch. I caught 12 punches. And that's when, with that picture up there with the army suit on, that's my brother. That's him.
This one right here?
With the military suit on. That's him in my mama's lap.
Right here? Oh, that's the one. Him is sitting in your mom's lap?
That's him in my mama's lap. I found him dead. And on March the 3rd, 2018.
Wow. In his home?
Yeah. In the home that we were raised in.
Wow. How old would he have been then?
Oh, he'd been in the 60s or something like that.
Wow. Sorry for your loss.
Yeah. He's he had Agent Orange.
Really?
Him and my brother, both of these boys went to military at the same time. They went to Saigon, and he got that Agent Orange, and that's what killed him. Wow. He lost his mind.
Wow. God bless his soul. And thanks for his service, Pops, because you know I love my vets.
Yeah, he was a vet. Both of my brothers, all three of my brothers went to the military except me.
What happened to you, Pops?
Shit, I was
Say it.
I was not the one to let people be shooting at me. The oldest brother, right here, he was in the Air Force. And these two youngest brothers right there, they were in the Army.
They were in the Army.
And Ronald, right here, he was a major in the Army.
Really?
Yeah, he's a big military. Yeah, he's still
into a major.
He's still military, like he's crazy.
Really? Yeah. Once it's in your blood, it's in your blood. And I honor him and I honor them and I thank them all for their service. So we're gonna so once you graduated, Pops, how did you start getting into football?
Well, first of all, I went to college on a football scholarship.
Okay.
And when I went to college on a football scholarship...
Well, first of all, Pops, what high school did you graduate from? Which was your...
Gary Roosevelt.
Gary Roosevelt.
That's where I graduated from. I ran track. Year? I graduated in 1956.
Oh, wow. Pops, I was still not even an egg.
I graduated in 1956. And the coach from this school here came and heard about me, and he came and offered me a scholarship.
Wow. And
he said, if there's anybody else, and it wound up 9 of us went to this school.
Really?
They had three from Colliston, Namath, Illinois, and Richard Johnson.
Yes.
They had 4 from Frable.
Yes.
Was Donald Thompson. He was my roommate in college. He went to Frable. Bob Nichols and Benjamin Triplett. And the rest of us were from Roosevelt.
Was from Roosevelt.
And that's where we went to college at. And
you know, we're going to take a ride around, and you're all going to see these places that Pops are talking about. He'll point them out to you.
These are all college people right here that I went to school with. And back here.
Oh, there you are. You were number 52. That's Pops right here. Number 52.
That's right.
And there's the team right here.
That's the seniors.
Oh, these were the seniors.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me show you something else. Over here, he was the captain of the football team.
Mm-hmm.
I was just leaving a class and they were practicing track, and I stopped out there.
Let's see. Oh, you really tall. How tall are you, Pops?
6'2".
Okay, look at that. What a striking young man.
Yeah.
And a striking old
No,
man.
an old man. That's what I was up on my way from a class, and they were practicing. And they stopped and got me.
Mm-hmm.
And here, that's the basketball team right there.
Yes.
I wouldn't know that now.
Mm-hmm.
And
So what year did you graduate from college?
1960.
1960.
Mm-hmm.
And did you go straight into playing professional football?
Yes, I did.
How did that occur?
I was drafted. I got drafted.
Okay, by which team?
Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and they traded me to the Oakland Raiders, and the Oakland Raiders traded me to the Bears.
Okay, and the Blue Bombers, they're from Canada?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's their Canadian team.
Yep. I got another yearbook down there with me catching the ball and stuff like that.
That's amazing, Paul.
Yeah,
So, how long did you play football?
7 years.
You played 7 years?
Pro football for 7 years.
Wow. Did you like it? Was it fun?
Loved it. Loved it. The women loved us.
They did?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Did you get an opportunity to travel a lot?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I've been everywhere. We played in Seattle, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
We played in Canada. We played in New Mexico.
Wow.
We played in New York.
Mm.
I was coming out of the dressing room in New York,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody hollered, "Piggee!" I thought they was going to rob me. I was running. He said, "I'm your cousin." We was in New York.
Yes.
I'm your cousin. I thought he was going to try to rob me or something. But that's the way life goes. That's the way life went.
Yes. So after your football career, what transpired
I got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I got hurt, and I had to have a knee replacement.
Wow.
And so I came and started teaching.
What year?
That was in 1968,
Wow.
I think it was.
I was actually out of the egg
Mm-hmm.
then.
Yeah, these two guys was the captain of the football team.
Wow. Right here?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So once you started your
He was from
career,
North Carolina, and he was from Gary.
wow, that's something.
Mm-hmm.
So once you started your teaching career, Pops, where did you first start teaching?
I
And what
first
grade?
started teaching in Chicago when I was playing with the Bears.
Really?
After the season was over, I would teach.
Oh, wow.
And I started teaching at a school called Oakenwall Elementary School.
Wow, in Chicago.
In Chicago, 4071 South Lake Park. That's the address.
Wow.
It's no longer there. They tore it down.
Mm.
The first year, I taught kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine me teaching kindergarten?
No.
Ooh, them kids worried me to death. And then the next year, I taught the third grade.
Wow.
And I took them out for recreation.
Mm-hmm.
And a girl's hair came down, and I braided her hair up. I had to braid every girl's hair in the class.
No way.
Yes, I did. I braided every girl's hair.
Oh.
When I was in kindergarten, a girl named Constance. Said, Mr. Piggee, where we get chocolate milk from? A chocolate cow? I said, yeah, baby.
Chocolate milk from a chocolate cow.
And she was in kindergarten.
Yes, you better believe that.
Her name was Constance. I'll never forget that as long as I live. So, Mr. Piggee, where we get chocolate milk from a chocolate cow? I said, yeah, baby. Yes, indeed. I sure did.
And how long did you teach there?
I taught that for 2 years.
And then
I went to a school in Hammond called Gavitt. I was the first Afro-American to teach at Hammond Gavitt.
Wow. What year would that have been?
I was in the 70s.
Really?
I taught at Hammond Gavitt, and then I went to Calumet and started teaching. Calumet is out on Ridge Road. I was the first black to teach there. You know where the casino is?
Yes.
On Burr Street?
Yeah.
The casino. Right there where the casino was the school I taught at.
Really?
Black Oak Elementary School.
So the new casino that they just opened up.
That's still where I used to teach at.
Used to be a school.
Yep. School was right there. And guess what?
The Hard Rock Cafe.
I had I taught the kids how to double dutch.
Did you?
Yeah,
you did.
I had the record. Yes, I did. Well, see, back in those days, that was back where the blacks lived out there in the raggedy places, you know, and that kind of stuff. And so the blacks taught. I was the first black to teach there.
Wow! Congratulations. And from there, where did you move on to?
Well, then I came to Gary, and I went to. I started teaching at Gary Emerson.
Gary Emerson.
That was in 1969.
Wow. Pops.
I started teaching at Emerson, and I was one of the first black coaches at Emerson.
Football coach?
Football coach.
What grade did you teach?
I taught high school.
Really?
I had one boy played for me. He played in the pros. He went to college and he played in the pros and he played in the Super Bowl.
Really? For which team?
For Philadelphia Eagles.
My team.
Philadelphia.
My deceased
His name is Ron Baker.
Really?
He's still living.
Wow.
He lived on 19th and Carolina.
He played for the Philadelphia Eagles.
At the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl. Did they win?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Right. These girls was the cheerleaders. This was my girlfriend right there.
But I'm not sure.
That was my girlfriend. Yep. She was from Orlando, Florida. She was from Virginia. And she was from Virginia. And she was from Florida.
Wow. So the school that you taught at was in the last school we mentioned. That was in Gary.
Yeah,
where
Emerson.
you were
Emerson,
the football coach. And how long did you teach there?
I taught there from 1969 to 74.
Wow.
And then that's when I went to school, work down here at Horseman, right down the street.
Horseman. That's an elementary school?
No, that was high school.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I taught at that school from 1974 to 2001.
Oh, wow. Now, which school were you the teacher at? They were the school that Michael Jackson attended.
I was over here right on 24. I was subbing back in those days because I was still playing football.
Okay.
That's why I had Michael Jackson. I beat his little butt, taught him how to do the moonwalk. Yeah. I had all of the Jacksons except for the two oldest ones.
Okay.
Jackie and Reby was the two oldest ones.
Okay.
And they were at middle school. They were at Beckman Middle School.
Okay.
Okay. Tito, Marlon, Jermaine, and Michael, they all went to, who did I tell you that school? Well, they all went to that school.
Right here. We're going to visit it. And when we get there, we'll remember the name.
Yeah. That's where they went to school at.
Wow.
But the other two went to school at the middle school.
Wow. So you personally know the Jacksons.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I had them all.
Wow. I remember as like I said in my recording as a little girl, just loving the Jacksons and always envisioning trying to be where, you know, coming to see where they lived or where they were born, and to actually meet someone and touch someone.
Well, it was so many.
Taught them.
It was
That's
so
amazing.
many people come from all over the world.
Yes.
To see the Jackson's house.
Wow.
All over the world, because you know his birthday it was in August.
Yes.
His birthday was in August, and we are. My young,
because no one. It's like I see the house. It's exquisite. It should be a really heavily trafficked tourist area.
Not now. It's not.
Now it's not. But
I'm talking about like in August it was. It would
wow.
Be. People would come from all over the world
because they have to celebrate his birthday.
His birthday. That's exactly right.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make sure I keep an eye out next August.
Yep, that's right. Here's the AKAs right here.
Wow.
And here's the Kappas. Right here. Here I am back here.
See them right there. This is
what?
The Kappas.
That's the way. But
so after teaching Pops, what else?
Oh shit! You say what now?
After teaching, what else did you start doing for C? Because I know you sit on the board.
I became a principal.
Really? At which school?
Oh, yeah, I was principal at Pulaski, and I was principal at Lew Wallace.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I was principal. I was a principal until I retired. I retired in 2011.
Wow!
I was a principal. I got a lot of paraphernalia in this room in here. You know, where I was the principal and my name was on there. Let me give you an idea.
We can take a look. Show the people what you have rightly earned.
Mm-hmm. I can bring it out. Okay. If you want me to, I can bring some of it out.
We wait for you right here. Principal. Wow.
Here's some more.
These are their colors.
Mm-hmm.
Class of 2011.
Mm-hmm.
The Lew Wallace Hornets.
That's right.
Oops. And then we have the Lew Wallace High School of 2007. Wow. Mm-hmm. I also see, Pops, that you have a lot of plaques and awards.
Oh, God. Y'all want to come in here in this room?
Sure, we'll take a look.
Come on. We've been put this thing on. See all of these?
Oh, wow. This is the award room. How amazing.
See down here, that picture down there? They call him Mr. Piggee.
I'm going to get that. Wow.
That's where I was taking kids. I took over 10,000 kids with me on college tours.
Wow.
This is where they recognized me in the House of Representatives in Washington, D.C.
Let me see if my eyes are good enough to read that. It says, I am pleased to participate today in this special order to commemorate the Black History Month as we celebrate the great contribution of African American throughout the history of our country. We can look to the civil rights movement of the 1960s as a pivotal time when what was and what could be were brought into shrinking revel through sometimes violent conflict. The civil rights movement was a period of enormous growth to our country. As a nation, we were forced by great African American leaders such as Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and others, to examine ourselves and confront the forces of hate and ignorance that were cleaving our society. That tumultuous period is now behind us, and many great things has happened as a result of that struggle. The African American community was strengthened, and so was the entire nation. As we face the present and look behind to the future, however, some stark realities exist. The fact remains that much still needs to be accomplished before true equality and racial harmony is a fact of life in this country. Now more than ever, we need strong African American leadership. We must have African American activists who are, like the leaders of the civil rights movements, are able to take action and inspire. On such activist leader lives, in Indiana's first congressional district, Mr. James Piggee has been a teacher and coach in Gary, Indiana school system for 30 years, and his activism is unique, and that it's focused on educating young Black students about their past, while at the same time giving them the opportunity to prepare for their future. For the past 12 years, Mr. Piggee has been actively involved in organizing and leading the historical Black College Tour, in which over 1,800 students from across the United States have participated. This experience has allowed African American students to experience various parts of their history and culture as it was developed in traditionally Black college and university throughout the country. In addition to gaining an historical perspective on African American intellectual life, they get a chance to learn about the school that they may one day attend. On one of the many positive results of Mr. Piggee's work is that over 60% of the students who participated in one of the tours enrolled at one of the colleges they visited. As part of his work, Mr. Piggee has helped over 500 students secure grants, scholarship, and financial aid to historical Black and other colleges and universities in the U.S. Mr. Piggee has tragically lost his son Mark in a drive-by shooting on November 12, 1996. Mm-hmm. In an active member in many civic and community organizations in Northwest Indiana, including the Board of Directors of Indiana Black Expo, the State Board of Minority Health Coalition, and Health Start. He is a recipient of many distinguished awards, such as the Governor's Voluntary Action Program and Excellence in Education Award, Indiana University Outstanding Teacher Award, Gary and Maryville in Lions Club Teacher of the Year Award, Indiana Steel Teacher of the Year Award, Gary Community Corporation Heritage Award, National Council of Negro Women Gary, Indiana Chapter, Outstanding Service Award, and the Indiana State Board of Health Outstanding Award. Besides his continued dedication to teaching, Mr. Piggee is also the coordinator of the Developing Option Opportunity for Responsible Students of DOORS program. The program provides an environment that is conducive to the successful transition from high school to secondary education, the military, or the workforce. Mm-hmm. Mr. Speaker, activists like Mr. Piggee will ensure that at all levels, the fight for equality will not end. His work should inspire us all to look to the future and to know that change is always ahead. His work shows us that what is today can be better tomorrow. In closing, I would like to commend my colleague, Representative Louis Stokes and Maxine Waters for organizing the important special order of the Black History Month. Oh, Pops, that is beautiful. I'm going to give you a hug.
Yeah. That right here.
That is amazing.
This is the highest award you can get in the state of Indiana right here. Sycamore and the Wabash. That's the highest award you can get. The governor gave me that award.
The Governor Voluntary Action Program Youth Service Award to James Piggee in appreciation of outstanding effort, support, and participation in the practice and promotion of voluntary action.
There's so many in here. So,
and let me show them this one here. Oh wow!
But he did get that one.
You got this one already? The Post Tribune on the road to success.
That's right. That's what they gave me.
Wow, Pops.
Yep.
That is outstanding. I am so proud of you.
These grandkids now, they're in high school and getting ready to go to college.
Wow. Oh. That made me cry reading that part.
Oh, God.
That really did. You know how I'm sensitive. That
and see, those are
beautiful.
different trophies and stuff over there people gave me and stuff like that in the window right there.
Wow.
You awful quiet over there. Yeah. Huh?
Okay.
James, we're going to get on the road?
We're going to get on the road. And now that we have sat and spoke to Pops and we've seen all of her words and we know his work, we're going to take a quick tour around Gary and make a few stops at some of the places that he's mentioned. And thanks again for joining us. We're about to show you some things.
Let me share something with you. In this area, nothing but white people used to live here in this area. They were
and we were on
lawyers. They were lawyers, doctors. The people who own this house, they own all the drugstores, the Bellis's. They would, back in those days, there was no Walgreens, there was no CVS's and stuff like that. There was Rexall. And this is the house they had, and they gave this house to me.
Wow, that's amazing.
Okay, we can go.
You are so loved.
We can go.
We're about to go. We're about to take that walk.
Where you want to start? You want to start down?
Oops. Where do you want to start? Where did we start at the last time? Let's go to the Stewart House real quick. We do that.
The Stewart. Oh, the Stewart House.
The Stewart House. We can start at the Stewart House because that's what we talked about. Because we can always pick this up another day. Black history on the wall, on Pop's wall. We have Count Basie,
Billie Holiday.
Billie Holiday in her heydays.
Yeah.
Wow. We have Du Bois.
Only person I don't have is a Martin Luther King. I had it and I gave it away.
We have Joe Louis right here. Muhammad Ali. We have this is Duke Ellington.
Yeah, everybody's up there. Where's your lady friend?
We have Miles Davis.
Everybody's up there.
We have, who is this? This is Rosa Parks. Ida B. Wells. Frederick Douglass. Malcolm X. Wow. And this one is Sojourner Truth. Oh, Sojourner Truth.
There's one
we have the
behind you.
center
There's one
named
behind you.
after her.
There's one behind you.
We got him. Family, thank you all for joining me today on Let's Talk with Sandra with Piggee, aka Coach, aka Pops. This is the first episode. We are going to do a continuing episode next Saturday to finish up the tour that I did with Pops and the education that he gave me and hopefully gave us. And it was an absolutely honor. I hope that you enjoyed the first show. Thank you so much. Peace and love.